What is science? Science is an organized way of gathering information about the natural world. It's a way of observing, a way of thinking, and a way of knowing. One of its goals is to provide natural explanations for events in the natural world. It also aims to use those explanations to understand patterns and to make useful predictions about natural events. Most of the times, scientific discoveries raises more questions than it answers. This constant change does not mean science has failed. On the contrary, it shows that science continues to advance. Scientific methodology. Well, there isn't a single scientific method. There is, however, a general style of investigations that is called scientific methodology, which involves observing and asking questions, inferring and forming hypotheses, designing controlled experiments, collecting and analyzing data, and drawing conclusions. Well, I talked about scientific method, which is used to answer questions, but where do those questions come from? They may be inspired by scientific attitudes, like curiosity, skepticism, open-mindedness, and creativity. Skepticism means that scientists question existing ideas and hypotheses and refuse to accept explanations without evidence. Open-mindedness. Scientists are willing to accept different ideas that may not agree with the hypothesis. Creativity. Scientists must be creative in order to create useful experiments. The word theory is both used in science and in everyday life, and it is important to understand that the meaning you give the word theory in daily life is very different from the meaning in science. In science, the word theory applies to a well-tested explanation that unifies a broad range of observations and hypotheses, and that enables scientists to make accurate predictions about new situations. When scientists explain why something happened, their explanation involves only natural phenomena. Pure science does not include ethical or moral viewpoints. Bias. Well, bias is a particular preference or point of view that is personal rather than scientific. Characteristics of living things. Biology is the study of life, but what is life? What distinguishes living things from non-living matter? Living things are based on a universal genetic code. All organisms store their complex information they need to live, grow, and reproduce in a genetic code written in a molecule called DNA. Living things grow and develop. Every organism has a particular pattern of growth and development. Living things respond to their environment. Organisms detect and respond to the stimuli from their environment. Living things are made up of cells. All organisms are composed of one or more cells.